And I just want to go through the journey a little bit. Start at the top with awareness. And for me, I just had to be aware that I was stuck in grief, I was stuck in loss. Because it sounds a bit simplistic, but I wasn't aware. I knew how I felt, but I wasn't aware that I was stuck. I just thought I was being strong and coping with the cards I'd been dealt. And for me, the sort of acceptance of that being stuck was made worse, what I call, by my catastrophic thinking. I give it a nice term of shitty committee. The voice in my head, every time something happened, every time the doorbell rang, the phone rang, I had a catastrophic thought about that. And I had to accept that was the thing that was keeping me stuck in that place, was my thinking. And others as well, trying to support me in that strength. And I thought it was the right thing to do. And it was only when I became in alignment with that awareness and that acceptance, and that alignment for me was to get rid of the stuckness. I had to become vulnerable. And that was letting go of the identity of being a grieving father. That was what it was for me. And how do you just let go? I talk about letting go all the time, but how do you let go of that strength when you think that it's always going to come down like a deck of cards? But I'm sitting here right now, even though I thought it was right and proper to be strong, I supported everybody around me. I was supported as best I can. But my coping mechanisms, we all know about our coping mechanisms around food, drink, even stronger stuff than that. And it was only that journey of self-inquiry that allowed me to, and I've chosen the word audacity for the next A. And I love this word. The more it used to say access and allowed, to be allowed to be who you want to be. So I had the audacity to buck the trend that I almost felt selfish, that I was important enough to have self-care and self-love. And I didn't even know that existed. And that was the game changer for me. The game changer for me on the journey was, I can have a good feeling. I can have self-care. I can have self-love. So I gave that a lot of attention. Once I had that realization that I could look after myself, I could love myself, there was hope. And I gave myself full attention in that. And I searched for new and fresh things that was going to take me to my authenticity, my true nature. And the word accumulate comes into play now. And that accumulate can be accumulation. When I first put that word in, it was about accumulating all the stuff, the conditioned thinking, the innocent conditioned thinking, the personal thinking that we have. This is not about that. This is accumulating the new and the fresh. This is rolling forward with that new and fresh feeling. I didn't change the sadness. I didn't change the fact of loss. But what I did was, I looked inside myself for self-love. I didn't look outside of myself. And things just started to get better. And it was only when I had an insight. So I was open to this now. You can be open to your vulnerability. And I had an insight. And I can only tell you how it happened. I was down in London and I was actually on a course. And I was walking to the course in the morning. It was a beautiful sunny morning. And I just had this thought drop into, and I call it tears of realization. A 4-second insight. I had this insight that I used to think that I couldn't have aliveness because my son didn't have aliveness. And once I realized that's what I was stuck in, and all I had to do was let go of that thought, I just felt like I come to the ground. I just felt grounded. think for years I've been like a puppet on strings and being pushed from left to right with relationships, with jobs, with any interaction with people. You know, when you move towards anger, you move towards guilt, you move towards shame, or you move towards sadness. Sadness is okay. That's where it goes. That goes bit pear-shaped when we think sadness isn't okay. It's okay to be sad, and I still have sad thoughts about them feelings, but I don't add any more thinking to it. So I was blessed with my insight to have aliveness from a grounded, authentic place. I don't have any energy now to put into being something I'm not. I haven't got any labels that take me away from that. I haven't got any thinking that takes me away from that. These 7 A's to aliveness you can really hang your own story on that and just see how it works and see if you can get to that. Because I'm only pointing at it with my story, and I have to finish on the fact that I'm so much in a better place to help people, my family, to help, well, I was going to say to help me, but I actually, anytime I think myself away, I just come straight back to it again. I've been up in my head a bit today. I'm a bit tired actually, and I struggled a little bit to come back, but it happened because I didn't try and give it any traction. And we do that. We'll talk a little bit about that. In our thinking, our personal thinking, our conditioned thinking, we take ourselves away from that. And we're here to have aliveness, aren't we? Whatever that means for you.